Microsoft Word. What is that app?
Right next to my Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
That's OBS for streaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It turns on and off his
Oh, and
room
they added
fan.
Edge as a shortcut. They just did that recently. These bastards.
Oh, Edge is such a piece of fucking shit.
They were like, we made it different, so now it's going to be everywhere.
You have to use it, and if you click on it one time, it's going to open forever.
Leave it in. Leave it in. I'm going to put that at the end.
Okay.
Oh,
Are
God.
we starting?
We don't have any beverages.
Well, okay, I was going to say, we don't have any beverages, but I have this fortune cookie. So how about this?
Oh, that was nice. Oh, you dropped it. It's
Yeah,
kind of perfect.
I can't let Boris have that. Hold on.
Instead of spilling on your mic, you drop your fortune cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the crumbs
hold
go
on, let me,
everywhere. It's
ooh, let
really
me-
in style.
First of all, let me chew into this microphone real quick.
I'm really excited. What's your fortune?
All right,
It's gonna
my fortune is your spirit of adventure leads you down an exciting new path.
That fits. That fits.
Yeah, you can make that fit with anything, Hayden. You can literally do anything with that.
Hayden, what do you think his exciting new path is going to be?
It's going to be podcasting. This is his full-time new career.
How is this new?
Maybe it's going to be porn. Maybe.
Porn.
ASMR.
Yes. Oh, okay. Now
Oh
we're
my
talking.
God.
Let me just take a little. Hey, listener.
I was editing the podcast once, and there was so much glass clinking or ice clinking. It was Andrew. Now I know.
Oh yeah, my
Clink,
bad.
clink,
dude.
clink, clink,
No,
My
it's-
bad. Boris,
it's-
I swear to God, Boris is trying to eat my fortune cookie. Dude, I just gotta eat it. I'm sorry, I edit this out.
Yep. No, this is part of the ASMR.
No.
This is part of the experience.
This
I know some
entire
people-
thing is a tagline.
Some people hate like hearing people eat food, but
Oh, I can't do it, man.
really?
Oh, if I heard this, I'd vomit for
Maybe
sure.
we'll take it out for Andrew's sake.
I'm talking
Wait.
with my mouth full. I'm drinking
Because
it.
it's gross or because it's like nails on a chalkboard?
I think it grosses people out.
Yeah, well, it's like sloppy. You know, there's like. Have you ever watched an X-ray of someone eating?
No.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's
Well, now we
fucking
have to
gross,
leave
dude.
Now we gotta leave it in. We're talking about it.
Okay, should we? Okay, this actually kind of feels weird, like this situation.
Talking
in the
in
same
person.
room.
I'm not in a small closet, so I really don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with you two in my basement. So for the listener at home, Jeff is in town, and we're recording in person for the very first time, which feels like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've been able to do this, but Jeff came in from Portland, risked the Rona for us.
It's kind of funny because every other podcast, everything's gone remote, and we're just like, all right, I guess we'll meet up now.
Well, now that we can't, we should. But it's nice to have you in town. This is just going to be a big old like roundabout podcast because if everyone recalls, I owed Jeff and Hayden bottles of Fernet for not finishing Harry Potter in the time frame we agreed on, and I bought them for them. They have them in front of them. I'm drinking it too, so it's really you know it's benefit for all.
I will note we're all drinking my bottle for Nat. So I feel like Hayden, you gotta.
I thought we were drinking my bottle. of Fernet.
all right. I didn't think. I don't know why I assumed it was mine. Well, who knows? Anyway,
Just playing the victim.
thanks for
Jeff.
sharing,
Just-
Hayden.
Playing the victim this early into the conversation.
I felt like we had reclaimed the podcast when you and I just did an episode alone, but it felt really odd. It was awkward not having Andrew there. I feel like
No
it
one
was
carried
fine.
us with the emotional energy.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
felt low energy, I guess. I don't know. I'm curious what the listeners think. Maybe we should have a spin-off podcast.
So I still make the joke to people, like for example, when I tell them, "Hey, I have a podcast," and they're like, "Of fucking course you do," like you fucking shit. and I tell them, "Yeah, here it is. Go listen, you dickwad." And they're like, "Okay, I'll start from episode 1." The amount of texts I've gotten from people that are like, "When do you come on? You said you were in a podcast. This is you. This is 2 other guys." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Oh.
I come on episode 2. But I can only imagine the amount of people who listen to the first episode and they're like, nice, this is great. Very chill. Very relaxing. I mean, these 2 guys clearly have nice, relaxing chemistry together. And then episode 2, you just like throw in like the wild card of...
I think that's why it's not as good though. We agree too much. We have the same opinions
It's true.
on too many things.
It's true.
We need the spice.
the
Yeah.
constant I don't want to say devil's advocate because I feel like I'm a little more extreme than that, but...
No, it's good. It is more like a one-on-one because Hayden and I are usually on the same page for a lot of stuff, and then it's Andrew.
Yeah, that's true. I like we said, conflict creates good content. I think it's hard to listen to circle jerks nonstop. Like that's why I
Yeah.
think we got to throw in a circle jerk every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like Harmontown was. That
great.
was a great episode, but it was a big old circle jerk. I mean,
All right, if there's any chance that you're listening to this episode before you've listened to the Harmontown episode, you have to listen to the Harmontown episode before you listen to us do the podcast about it, because the entire time it's us just talking about how funny the jokes are. It wasn't a real conversation. It was just us being like, that joke was so funny.
I saw that
good.
in your description
Riffing bits
today.
they won't get
Yeah.
at all.
And I tweeted out the podcast, as I always do now because I'm a good podcaster. And I tweeted out, and then I read your description. I was like, oh my God. I definitely should have deleted the tweet and retweeted it with like, hey, listen to the episodes first. But, our 7 followers will figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. At Tangent
That's
Quest.
what they get for not reading the description. I put at least 30 seconds of effort
Also,
into
the
making
amount
this
of
witty.
links we put in that bitch, good lord. I mean, go fucking click the links for fuck's sakes.
Every time I'm writing the description, I'm like, I've never read a podcast description before.
Oh,
like, is
really?
anyone going to see this? I never look at it.
Oh, I read them all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I breeze over.
Yeah,
I do.
I just look at the title. I'm like, cool. I'm
Well,
in.
there's some hit and miss podcasts. Like sometimes on Radiolab, I really like specific episodes, but others I'm like, nah. Not even gonna try it.
Nah.
I think part of your content is your description, and I think we have a nice description of like how to get additional contact information. Sometimes if I'm looking for an episode of something, sometimes the title isn't enough. I'm like, what the hell's going on in this episode? So I'll
Yeah.
read the description.
And we
I don't know.
keep
I
it
think a
brief.
good description goes a long ways.
Yeah.
Show notes.
We keep it brief. We're like, this is exactly what's about to happen to you, which is good. I don't know.
It is good.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a great job. Good job, everyone. So what happened? I haven't listened to last week. I could listen to it because I have access to episodes early, but I'm not going to. No spoilers. How many times did I come up? Was it more than one? Did you guys talk about me?
At least twice.
Oh, okay.
Beginning and
twice.
end. Well,
Beginning
you,
and end.
Yeah.
you came in and you had told us you didn't want a podcast until you finished book 2 of Harry Potter. So that's why you were missing.
Oh, yeah. Can we get a Harry Potter update?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so cute. No, don't cute. I haven't started. I haven't started. When we talked about that season 2 idea, which I think is awesome. Honestly, we need to. First of all, we should strategize around that. But,
Oh, yeah.
when we talked about that season 2 thing, I was like, perfect. Like, this is the perfect way for me to avoid this for longer. For me to blow off this children's book just a little bit longer. So I promise I will read it. I am still getting in the swing of school. And that was the real reason why I didn't come last week.
You seem 4 times busier than you have been before. So I feel like maybe you'll do it, but it seems harder now.
It's been harder. So for a little peek behind the old Andrew curtain, which I call my fly. Anyone? Okay, I'm sorry. Edit that out.
Leave it.
So I've talked about this probably more than enough, but so full-time MBA, plus I'm working at this internship still because, I want a job when I graduate. That's the whole point of internships.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so
That
my
already
day-to-day
stresses me out,
schedule. Yeah, my day-to-day schedule is I have class in the morning at 8 a.m. and then it ends at 9:30, and so I get to the office at 10, and then I work until 4, or I work until 3, and then I have another class, and then that class ends at 5. Oh my god, I'm burping. I'm sorry. Okay, this is you guys
Leave
get to
it
see it
in!
live. And then so now it's 5 o'clock. I haven't done a single bit of homework yet, and it's the evening, right? And I still want to work out, and I want to be able to eat dinner and maybe play a game. So I have to just crunch time. Roughly 4 days a week. Thursdays are my Fridays. Because
Okay.
my classes are Monday through Thursday.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But then do you work Friday?
But then I work Friday. So
At a company that is notorious for working our friend into the ground. So,
I will say it's much better than it was.
okay.
But this is again, I can't emphasize enough how startup-y startups are. If you've never worked in a startup, it's totally foreign to be what do you mean you work that many hours and you're just okay with it? You get this level of buy-in when you work at a startup where you're just if I don't do this, we'll die. And so you kind of...
But isn't the payoff is you have a foosball table in the rec room?
Well, yeah, well, we don't even have that. But no, the payoff is the thing I like about working in a startup is the words that come out of your mouth are totally listened to and valued.
That's cool.
Because there's so few people that if you're hey, we really need to think about changing this, and if it's a good idea, people will be oh yeah, good point. Let's talk about it. It's not a corporate environment where I was hey, hey, this is kind of fucked. And they're like, shut up, slave.
Yeah.
You know, you little bitch. Get back to your fucking cubicle, slut. And I'm like, whoa, okay.
80% of my job is working around things that we can't change, although we should.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was my life in finance. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And they're like, okay. Like, what do you want us to do about it? Like, change it? How about you shut up, bitch? Like, you little fucking, they're like slapping my face. Like, little bitch, go sit down. But the startup, they're like, you know, they really care and they want to be successful. And so they take value from all their employees, which is great. And so you get this level of buy-in. I've never had it with a company before where you're like, if this doesn't work, I'll die. You know? And I think I already said that, but, you know, it changes your perspective a little bit.
Is it a lot more pressure, though? Like, there's a lot more people in your work actually matters? Like, a lot of times when I fuck something up, I'm like, well, you know, shit happens.
I will say, yeah, because when you fuck something up, you don't just get to move on to the next thing. You have to just sit there and be like, oh my God, I was supposed to be like 10 miles ahead of where I am right now, and now I have to redo this. So there is a little bit of pressure, but I will say also the other thing is like, we have, you know, we know what we're doing. We're very good at what we do, but sometimes we're doing stuff like good enough because who knows if this will work, right? And so there's a little bit of that too. It's hard to describe, but
Part of a big company, you can kind of hide in the amount of people and the amount of stuff going on.
oh my
Like,
God.
there's
Can't
a lot
do
of
that at
double
a startup.
checks, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's always someone that's looking over my code, or there's someone who's like, who knows way more than I do about it, and is kind of looking ahead. But at a small company, I feel like you're more in charge of
Oh my God, yeah.
everything.
You know, I think I made this joke on the podcast before, but it's like when I asked a question like, hey, who takes care of this? My boss would be like, oh, you do now. And I was like, oh God, I just got another job. No.
The voluntoldism. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, should we talk about what we did before this? Because I feel like we had some
Oh,
notes
man.
that were left unsaid. And this is a great promotion for the Discord channel.
that's what this podcast is becoming. Just a
Andrew
Discord
promotion
ad.
time.
Yeah. But, you know, that's probably a good percentage of our listeners at this point, so, you know.
Whatever. I mean, you know, give them what they want. So
Give
we
them what they
did.
want.
So Hayden and Jeff came over for Shitty Movie Night, which is every other Thursday in the Discord channel. What I do is I broadcast a shitty movie, and we realized we're just going to change it to Nick Cage Movie Night.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got some great shitty movie ideas that are non-Nick Cage related. As crazy as that seems.
It does seem crazy. I'm willing to give them a go. I'm not quite burnt out on Nick Cage yet, but I think we need a discography of things to jump through or there are things to choose from. So anyway, so they came over. We did in the Discord channel. We had a few people in the Discord channel. We all joined the voice chat and just take a giant dump on a Nick Cage movie or a shitty movie or whatever. And we watched Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Thoughts?
I was actually with it about halfway through. Like, I've seen a lot of shitty movies, and halfway through I was like, this is shitty, but it's not terrible yet. And then 3/4 of the way, I was burnt on it. I was done. I couldn't take another terrible one-liner. Nick Cage at some point, like, comes out of an explosion and is fine. He says, yeah, that happened. And I was out of it there. That killed it for me. I just was...
My favorite other one-liner that was so unnecessary to the point that I actually almost spit up in my mouth is in the final, like, runaway scene. Nick Cage's character throws a guy off a car and then just says, roadkill.
It's honestly just impressive you can get a full crew of at least 10 people together to make a movie and have everyone on board for just, this is complete garbage, but we're going to put it out there to make money. Like, everyone in the production must have known how bad it was.
And it had Idris Elba in it. Like, he's a pretty good actor. Like, he's done some good stuff.
Nick Cage gets lucky. Sometimes he gets, like, carried in movies, and then suddenly they seem really good.
He did not get carried
but
in this one.
He did not. No one could have carried that movie. No. That was like, I mean, that you're carrying more than the weight of the world on your shoulders with that fucker. I feel like the people who wrote it are the ultimate criminals, though. Because they're literally, the first half of the movie, you're like, okay, we're making progress. I see a direction here. You're not explaining anything, but that's okay. You will at the end, right? Everything will come full circle. And then at the halfway point, they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, just send them off on a motorcycle. Have some people explode. We don't know. I whatever, you know? And they just gave up like halfway through screenwriting.
Dan Harmon would say they had third act problems.
They had huge third act
Yeah.
problems.
And second act problems.
Yeah.
And first act problems.
It started with the first act, but it's certainly. I mean, you look at if you look at the curve, right, of quality to time committed to movie. I mean, it's a straight line down at roughly 45 minutes in.
So the first one must have been all right? I remember it being pretty popular. Like,
No.
you don't think so? I bet it has. I'm gonna bet a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let's see. Ghost Rider 1 has a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. How did they greenlight the second one?
I don't understand.
So the reason I'm not talking into the mic, sorry. So the reason I chose Ghost Rider 2, because originally I'm sure everyone's like, Andrew, why didn't you guys start with Ghost Rider 1? That's just clearly the logical plane to fly down, right? Agreed, and bad simile, but it is Ghost Rider 2 is an actual shitty movie. When I say shitty movie, I mean like you said, you're sitting there
bad.
like, this is just bad.
Yeah,
like,
it was just bad.
What are you talking about? And there was no sex scene, and Nick Cage sex scenes are just iconic. No one enjoys it. Clearly, the actress got the bonus of a lifetime to have to indulge in that situation with Nick Cage. Have you ever seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Frank is fucking in Lethal Weapon 5?
What? No.
Okay, that was a big sentence. I'm sorry. So there's an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they premiere their movie Lethal Weapon 5, and Frank plays like this Indian casino owner, and he's fucking in it. Like, he's like,
Balls deep.
the only way I'm funding this movie is if I get to have real sex and you have to show my balls or something like that. And they show the sex scene,
no.
and it's just Frank going, ooh, 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 ooh. That's like literally what Nick Cage does in every one of his sex scenes. Oh, hold on. My cat is purring. He's on his little... Look at him. Hi, mister.
He's pretty cute.
Oh, Boris.
I gotta wrap him up.
Yeah. Oh, is that what he wants?
Yeah.
That's really what he... Oh, my God.
There you go, mister. That's all I wanted. He's so freaking cute.
Oh man, Boris is so awesome. Yeah, bad movie. What would you put next on the Nick Cage list? Do you know?
So, I didn't have one off the top of my head, but Bad Lieutenant is always just such an easy go-to.
I don't even know that.
Yeah.
Con
don't know.
Air. Con Air is...
What's the one where
I know
he
Con
can
Air has-
see like 2 minutes in the future or something like
That's
that?
what I was telling him about. It's called Next. Right?
Next. Yeah, Next. Next is really bad. Like, really bad.
Con Air's like, I'm air quoting audience, a good movie, right? Don't people like that movie? No.
No? Hold on. Well, we're doing this. Let me
Maybe I
Google
grew up
it.
watching bad movies and just didn't know how terrible they were.
You know, I didn't think Next was a good movie, but I thought it was decent.
I remember thinking, I don't want to ruin this movie for people. I remember thinking it was good until the end, and then at the end I wanted to shoot somebody.
Next?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah, the ending ruins the whole thing. But
Yeah.
the entertainment is like, okay,
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay.
Well, you know, that's like how a lot, like I said, a lot of Nick Cage movies just have third act problems.
Yeah.
They just go down the dumpster. The thing is, you're like, okay, Nick Cage, like, you're doing weird stuff and you're emotionless and you're pretending to act, but you're clearly not good at it. And how did you get this role again? Oh, right. People just assume you'll do anything for free. Okay, fair enough. And he kind of gets carried a little bit by the plot. And then it just gets dumped on. And I think that's the same case with Con Air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Con
Con
Air
Air got.
Con Air got a 55% on Rotten Tomatoes, which
Okay.
is for Nick Cage. I mean, that's
National Treasure has got to be above that.
okay. So
right?
National Treasure is one of his movies where I'm like, pretty good. I'm sorry, I like National Treasure. I don't know if
I
it's
don't
just
like
Nick
it.
Cage and I just like Nick Cage, but
I mean, it's a bit of a Disney plot line, but like it works.
I don't know what about it. I get so bored during that movie.
oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
tell
like
me.
Da
You're telling
Vinci
me
Code Light.
Yes, very, very light.
that's true.
It's funny because it came out right around the time of Da Vinci Codes.
Oh really? Oh,
This historical fiction stuff so cool.
we need to do one for kids.
America! There wasn't nearly enough America in Da Vinci Code.
And they're like, Nick Cage will plop this out in 6 months. Boom, we got it.
So, fuck. What was I gonna say about Declan? Oh, Jeff. You're trying to tell me that a little blood doesn't rush to your penis when Nick Cage says, we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Don't they just walk into the museum?
Yeah, it's like not even an operation. It's amazing.
Oh my god. Doesn't Nicolas Cage do that movie Face Off? That's a cult classic, right?
Face Off?
Isn't Face Off with Nick Cage?
You mean
don't
the
know.
classic hockey movie?
No. Face Off where they switch faces.
Oh my god, yes!
Yes, right?
Oh, yeah.
I love that instead of going into like Quentin
So
Tarantino movies.
Face Off is a classic movie when Nick Cage had his very brief prime.
Okay.
And it's like, and it has a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's like that. We can't do Face Off.
It's too high.
It's too good.
Yeah.
And I remember we watched it one time. So Shitty Movie Night, I think I explained this last time, but Shitty Movie Night started when we were in college, and every Thursday we would stay in instead of going out and getting wasted. We stay in and get wasted, and we'd watch a Nick Cage movie. And I remember we turned on Face Off, and we're like, hold the phone. This is a good movie. So we changed the movie.
I just know that movie's referenced all the time, and I've
Never seen it.
Maybe that's one where he gets carried because the
He does,
opposing
yes.
Nick Cage actor is really good. Yeah. Couldn't
But
tell
what
you
they
his
did,
name.
and this is where the director had a really good choice, is he made Nick Cage's character Nick Cage. That's genius. Like, I was like, there's nothing else to say. If you want Nick Cage to do a good job, just make him play himself.
Yeah.
You know?
He must be like an inspiration for acting coaches because they're like, look, there is a successful actor who does this professionally
all the time.
on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose.
He's
still
trying.
getting paid.
He's trying.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So this is why Shitty Movie Night's brilliant, though. I mean, the conversation alone is just so fun.
Yeah.
And if you ever just need it, like, this is something you can implement in your own home, listeners. Except you shouldn't. You should come to my Discord channel instead and give me money or something. But what you can do, I mean, just choose shitty movies and get your friends together and just take a shit on them. Because who fucking gives a fuck if you miss the plot?
Yeah.
You know?
I was worried that talking over it was going to make it not watchable, but it was fine.
That is the only thing
Nobody
that makes
cares,
it watchable.
yeah.
Well, when you're picking a movie that's good, there's like a fair amount of stress in like trying to find a really good movie that's worth your time. But when you're already watching something terrible, like the choice is so easy. It's already bad. There's no pressure.
There's no loss, too.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, we're walking into this knowing we're not going to be happy when we leave. You know, it's a brilliant plan, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, you guys' first shitty movie night.
Yeah.
Did you guys good time overall?
The only thing I'm sad about is we missed Wicker Man because that's the one Nick Cage movie I've been
I
trying to
know.
watch for a very long
I wish
time.
I wish I would have waited to do Wicker Man. It's just we were kicking off shitty movie night, and Wicker Man is like my favorite shitty Nick Cage movie. And I was like, we got to start off on a great note.
That's fair. Yeah.
Nick Cage gets in a bear costume and knocks a woman out. I mean, you can't make that. It sounds fake.
Yeah. How do you top it? You can't.
You can't. And then he just rides this bike around this like island. He's like, "Whoa! Where am I? Where's my daughter?" It's so fucking good. God damn it! I love that fucking movie. Holy shit! It's a remake too. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, the original came out in the '70s and it was supposedly actually good.
Was the original a horror movie?
Yeah. So it's like so the best part about Wicker Man is it's categorized as a horror movie.
Oh god.
And the whole time you're watching, you're like, when do I get scared?
I did not know that was a remake. You know, I would fundraise to have Nick Cage redo specific movies.
He should have redone Mulan. He could have been a woman.
Oh my god. So I would pay money
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I would pay money to just have Nick Cage, just to fund Nick Cage's career from here on out. Anything people are like, okay, we got to roll. I'd be like, I will pay you to hire Nick Cage. I will take away from I'll give you more budget to hire Nick. If I had an unbelievable amount of money, I would do that.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, same cast, same budget. Aragorn is Nick Cage.
Not Frodo. Gotta be arrogant.
God, can
you
you
know, I
imagine-
kind of like making the most badass person Nick Cage. I'm on board.
Could you imagine Nick Cage in like a miniseries too? Like a Game of Thrones character or something?
Oh.
That'd be good.
Is he ever the villain?
Yeah.
He seems like he'd be a really bad villain.
You know what's funny? I'm trying to think of an example. I know he's been a bad guy before, but he's usually the protagonist for some reason. I bet you
Yeah.
his like he's like, I only play the good guy. I'm trying to think of a good. There's definitely movies where he's the bad guy, and I'm sure our audience could send us some. But geez, like even if you don't want to watch me on Twitch or you don't want to interact with us on an intimate level on the podcast, if you join my Discord just for Shitty Movie Night, it's so worth it. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quality stuff.
Well, speaking of stuff, have you guys watched more Legend of Korra? Anybody?
I've got a whole point about this.
fuck.
Oh wow.
All right.
We're moving into Avatar here.
Yeah.
I
well,
will
first of all,
preface.
should we say how far we're into it?
Yes.
All right. So
Halfway through season 2.
nice. Okay. I am on season 4.
I finished the series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay, so
So-
season 1.
Spoiler
We
alert.
talked about this last time. I thought the bad guy had really good points.
Yeah.
I was on Anand's team. Non-benders. Yep, I was totally for the bad
Andrew,
guy.
you were gone for this, but we talked about how the bad guy in season 1 kind of has a good point.
Well, he has a good point. He's like the Karl Marx of Korra.
Yeah, totally.
Right? He's like, look, it's not like I think
And they
that's
drop
what,
that. They move on. But season 2, I'm still not on Korra's team because the secondary female lead, what's her name?
Oh,
We can cut this out.
Asami.
Asami.
Asami, yeah.
Asami has a whole bit about how she's trying to save her company, and she's like, you know what we need? We need to sell weapons to this civil war. She's a warmonger. That's a terrible move.
Capitalism. This is why Amon should have taken over, man.
Yeah.
Capitalism just ruins good people.
They never call her out on it or make it bad. They're just like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's sell these weapons. And these are the good guys.
To be fair, I think she was more or less. Do they say she's like, we're making weapons, or does Varric say, I want you to make weapons?
they
think
have
it's
all
Varric.
these weapons from before. She inherited
right.
all
And-
the weapons.
and he buys them.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I've got to sell them.
Well,
There's a civil war going on. I could fund this civil war in another country. That's fine.
But at least, like, I'm pretty sure it's Varric that comes along and is like, you need to sell your weapons to that guy. And he's, like, pushing her towards it, right? I don't think she's like, we need to sell the weapons.
All I'm saying is she seems really excited about funding a civil war.
well,
And profiteering
if
on
my
it.
company,
But it's war profiteering.
If my company was on the verge of bankruptcy and someone's like, I'll literally buy all your inventory, I too would be like, great.
Well, yeah.
Not good point. I'm the bad guy.
Well, this is why, for example, my roommate and our friend Hisham likes Korra more, is it touches on these complex issues more than Avatar: The Last Airbender did.
Yeah.
Right? Avatar: The Last Airbender is like, it's hard being a preteen, and I gotta learn bending, and it's really fucking hard, and I don't like it. And Korra's like, oh, I have to negotiate a civil war between my two family members? Like, what? And then weapons dealing? That's crazy complex for like kids. It's supposed to be a kids show, but it's great because they touch those things.
And it seems like every season is about radical socialism. Like we all need to be equal, like tear down all of society's walls. Like they do that every season, which is kind of cool. It's interesting.
So-
And on the Asami point, just real quick, I was so sure in season 1 that she was going to become a bad guy. And I was so on board the Asami is going to trade teams. Like, boat, I was so sure of it. And then she doesn't, but...
Oh, I was too.
Yeah.
I felt the same. I was like, hot bad guy coming in.
Yes! Yep.
I was like,
she seems too good to be
unstoppable
true.
with that body. You know what I mean? So, okay, Hayden, sorry, you said you're halfway through season 2?
Yep.
Okay, so we
Trucking
can't,
along, but
we can't go too in depth on season 2 then.
That's fair.
I think the
Yeah.
premise that we covered is fair, and I see your frustration. I will say, and I don't think this is a spoiler for you, Hayden, is Korra, I disliked Korra until roughly season 3-ish, like in 4.
It took a while through season 2 before I really liked her.
Yeah, because she's a complex character and she's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
And she just, you're like, hey, fucking figure it out, dude. And she's like, no, like, I'm gonna be myself. And I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. Like, you're supposed to be the balancer of the world and you can't even balance your own emotions. All right.
Season 2 was by far my favorite season. I haven't finished season 4, but season 2 was really good in my opinion.
well, I'll come through. We can complain about each one as I make it my
Okay.
slow plodding way through.
What did you think of the end of season 1? Because I thought this is total spoilers. If you haven't seen season 1 yet, don't listen to this part. But I thought the end of season 1 was fucking awesome.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was the best way it
Yeah.
could have ended. It was so cool.
I
Do
never,
you remember the season?
yeah. So I never expected Nickelodeon to be like, oh, a double suicide?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, oh, they're
shit.
going to get away? That's kind of weird. And then, nope.
I will
Murder
tell you-
suicide right out the gate.
I will tell you, I really thought, I was like, oh, they're not dead. I was like, season 2, they're gonna come back in some way.
No brain matter. Didn't see the bodies. They
Yeah,
could've made it.
But
well,
it's
that's what I
Nickelodeon.
mean.
You'll never see the bodies.
Yeah, but
that's my favorite thing is they're literally filming war scenes through season 1 and season 2, and people are fighting and like full out.
What?
And every time a plane crashes, you see the guy's chute go off before he hits
Yeah,
the
totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
well,
They're like,
because
no one's dying.
but
Not a
to
single
be
person.
fair, no one really dies in Avatar.
No,
or
never.
sorry, in Last Airbender.
Except the murder suicide.
no.
No.
Oh,
in-
yeah, in
yeah.
Avatar.
But in Korra, people die.
Yeah.
And they just are like, yep. And I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna. This is a children's show. They're dealing with the complexities of suicide and death. Like, holy God,
It's great. I love
it
it.
is good.
If
It
you
was
could-
definitely aimed towards a more advanced audience, which
Still,
is
Sure.
it works. If you could have children watch one TV show to teach them life lessons, like, not a bad one.
Yeah.
no. Okay, so Jeff, you're almost done. Hayden, this is good perspective. Do you like Korra more than Last Airbender?
I wouldn't say I like it more, but I don't dislike it. I think I was attached more to the previous train, but like if you compared Avatar season 1 to Korra season 1, I think I was about the same point.
Yeah.
Realistically. I think you just grow attached after more time.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the characters in the first and Avatar: The Last Airbender were so likable. It's interesting. It's like the characters I liked more, but the plot was way less interesting. And now in Korra, like the characters are really cool.
No,
but the
they're less
plot
though.
is
I would say
way
that.
better.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I have the same, pretty much the same thoughts as you. I didn't get nearly as attached to the characters as I did in Avatar. I thought Avatar: Last Airbender, or I should say Last Airbender, I felt that show had much more connection to characters, and it was all about character development.
Yeah.
And Korra's more like, and this is the thing, is because you're watching in Korra, you're watching a bunch of young adults who are already coming into themselves. They're already figuring out who they are in the world. Aang, Katara, and Sokka, and all the characters.
Zuko and Iroh.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, where do I belong in this fucking world? It's like such a teenager thing to be like, what the fuck am I? And what am I doing with myself? I'm so confused and so angry. And so it has that lesson down to a T.
Yeah.
And Korra's more about, look, I am who I am, and here's how it's going to go down, which is what adult life is like.
Yeah.
Dealing with people who you're like, will you change? And they're like, fuck no, you little bitch. Like, get out of here.
They even have a whole episode of adult people dealing with their adult siblings in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Like, they touch everything.
Yeah, it's really good. And in dealing with your siblings as an adult, like, I love my sister, but they kind of nailed, like, the dynamic of
Totally.
dealing with your siblings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, we're all adults here, but man, you're still my sibling, you know?
And I actually really respect them for making the two shows so different, because I don't think they could have recreated the character creation in the Avatar: Last Airbender. I just don't think they could have done it.
No.
So tackling a lot cooler plots and like making things really complex, like, I don't know, almost philosophically, is way better. I'm really into it.
Yeah, and so I respect them for not always doubling down and going back and showing what happened after Last Airbender when they were all adults. But God, I wanted that. Oh my God, that's all I wanted. Every season, I was like, they're gonna do it, and I'm gonna love it. Not fucking once. I'm sorry if that's a spoiler, Hayden, but it's like they're like, this is a new show, and you have to like this show for what it is. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, give me my old shit back. God damn it. And they just never do, which is fine. Honestly, it works. I'm glad at the end of the day they did it.
Ugh.
But okay, I never said what I felt, but I think I still like Last Airbender a little more, but I think Korra is much more dense and has a lot more, like, I think Korra's more rewatchable.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of want to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I kind of want to watch Korra again because I don't know, it's very different. I will say I have one. Oh, sorry, Hayden, what you got?
Well, it has everything, too. If you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender again, you get all the cartoony first season episodes.
Yeah.
And those don't quite have the same bit as rewatching Korra.
Definitely. My only one major complaint though was that they reused Zuko's voice actor.
Oh
for a
my God, that
character.
bothered me so much.
It
killed
did. I
me a
thought it
little
was
bit.
like kind of cute. Like, okay, that's fun. You know, like
Nope.
it's his grandson. Because,
Nope.
for example, like me and my uncle, like in real life, like I sound a lot like my uncle.
Really. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, I get it. It's kind of like a cool little thing, but and he's in a few episodes, you know.
It's true. It's not a ton. But I think it just threw me off so much because we hear his voice. I'm like, is that Zuko? It can't be because he's dead.
I
And
know.
like,
I was like, wait, did I miss a cutback to like a previous? Are they doing a flashback right now?
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Just
him.
the same. Too noticeable.
I
Like,
guess I've just never noticed somebody that had the same voice as a.
get that voice actor's brother. Bring him on. That would have worked.
they tried to make him like a little wispier, I guess. It just didn't. I don't know. It didn't
Yeah.
sit with me. It bothered me. But that is a very small complaint versus the complexity of the show.
Yeah. You know what I wish? So the creators of Avatar, even though they jumped off the live series, which I'm still a little scared of,
Yeah.
what I wish they would do, they're going to do fucking anything. Give me what I want and go write the series between Korra and Last Airbender.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Show us, and we've never got to watch an adult Avatar.
Yeah.
You know, someone who's, I got it figured out. I know what I do. This is how an Avatar does stuff. We've never got to see an Avatar who's put together have to solve issues and put the world together.
Yeah. Like the closest you get is Tenzin. And even his story is really cool whenever he's doing stuff. So.
Yeah.
Well, what else have you guys been watching besides that?
Oh, thank God. I thought,
Yeah.
fuck, I thought we lost
Yeah,
the
I
audio there.
just went to sleep.
Oh, dude, I would have had a. I would have been like, sorry guys, I'm leaving.
Let's restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you guys...
What else have you been listening to, Jeff?
Hey, look, I didn't start the segment.
Oh, man, you didn't save this.
I called him out. I'm like, Jeff, what, eye contact.
I was ready to keep doing this forever. You know, it's I keep saying this every week. I think it's been like a month and a half of me saying this, but Doughboys is so good. I just listened to the Wendy's breakfast of the Doughboys, and it's really funny listening to these episodes because I eat so little fast food. I can't even remember the last time. Like Cane's is the most fast food I ever have. I haven't been to Wendy's in years. I'm never going to eat a Wendy's breakfast, and yet I will listen to 2 hours of random people talk about it, and it's so good. I love it. It's so great.
Yeah,
Doughboys is the best.
What's weird about Doughboys is I think it itches that fast food scratch in my brain because they
Yeah.
talk about it at such an immense detailed level
Yeah,
that I'm like, great,
sure. Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm eating Wendy's, you know?
They do such a good job describing it and just like, I don't know. They do. It's light, but it's, I don't know, it's perfect. I really like the Doughboys. I'm pretty stuck on it right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have been listening to. Really not much. It's been just a lot of Doughboys, which is, I don't know, that kind of upsets me. Like, is that all I've been doing? Listening to
You're like
Doughboys?
embarrassed about it.
Yeah,
You're like,
like, oh my gosh, I'm really, oh, whatever. Well, a little Harmontown here and there. Doughboys. Much the same. Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
So, just had to keep listening to Harmontown.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Of course, I listen to stuff you should know. But I tell you, the whole time I was listening, I was like, man, I wish I was listening to Harmontown right now. Fuck. And so I just kind of continued from the episode we listened to, which was problematizing. I just was like, all right, I'll just keep doing. And I got a really good Rob Schraub episode.
Oh, nice.
God, I love Rob Schraub episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're good. It's just him taking a dump on Dan constantly, unintentionally. Ugh.
Just his presence annoys Dan.
I
Which makes it really funny.
It's so good. So yeah, a lot of Doughboy. I've been really like trapped with school and work. I haven't got to like consume media like I did before this. So I'm trying to think of anything else I had that I was doing. It's nothing really. I haven't even been streaming, which has been a bummer. It was something I was like, you know what? I'm taking only 3 classes and then I'm just going to be working. I'll have plenty of time to stream. No, I will not. So I'm hoping to get back on that at some point soon. It's just so hard for me to get the time because you don't want to stream for an hour.
Yeah.
I think I talked about this before. When you
Yeah.
stream for like 45 minutes in an hour, you just shouldn't stream. So I don't know. I want to get back into it, but it's also been tough just to like after doing like essentially having like a 12 to 14 hour day with school and work. I'm just like, I got nothing for you guys. You know, like, you know what I want to do? I want to play Overwatch and be on mute unless I have like something crazy happen.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta unwind.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it, man. A little bit of Harmontown. My God, it's so good.
So
It's so good.
it's so good.
All right, Aiden, you're dying to tell us something.
well, last week we did the Legendarium, mostly so we could talk about The Wheel of Time. But I actually ended up really liking it. I've been listening to a lot more Legendarium. I've been crushing through the books just as a recap review. I'm on book 11, and there's a lot of stuff that I forgot and like completely didn't notice. And I just love people talking about things I like. That's pretty much the gist of it. It's incredibly addicting. So that's been basically everything.
So I know you guys probably talk about this on the episode, but is Legendarium just a podcast about Wheel of Time?
They're a fantasy review podcast. So they review a bunch of fantasy books.
Yeah. They're like fantasy experts. Like anything fantasy they've done. Like they've done all the Dune stuff. I can't name off a bunch of fantasy series off the top of my head, but they do everything fantasy. It's really good. Yeah, I listened to a couple more of those. I want to keep going because for Wheel of Time stuff, they've been really good. And, yeah.
A lot of stuff has come up. Like Jeff was complaining about them not liking men at one point in the book series, and like 5 books later, they're like, now we like men again.
Good. All right, that's good to hear. Men, I love men. Anyway, yeah.
I remember when my sister, she would, she's a Wheel of Time nerd, and I talk about her all the time whenever we talk about Wheel of Time, because I feel like she would tell me, how when you really like something and someone is in your like space, they're like, let me tell you about something I like, and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? So she would always tell me, she was like, I can always tell what was going on in Robert Jordan's life when he writes things. Like I could totally tell there's a section where he was like totally having woman problems because one of the characters is like complaining about women. They're giving him a hard time.
Really?
And I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
like that's a
Jeez.
deep connection. She's probably going to listen to this and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I think I remember her telling me like there's this part in the book where like this dude is like leading an army and all he can think about is how this woman like spited him in some way. And he's like, what the fuck? Just don't like. I like her, she's a bitch. And I'm like, that's pretty good. That's interesting stuff. That's a level of connection I've never felt to an author. So
Yeah, damn.
yeah. So anyway, I guess I was hoping you guys were gonna be like, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. But
No
no,
idea.
okay.
Let me tell you, Andrew, it's 14 bucks. Like,
Yeah.
It's too much to keep track of.
Most of the reading makes me feel like Robert Jordan didn't have relationships with many women, so
Oh, that his wife ruffled her skirts all the time. He says ruffled skirts. Like, there'll be a woman doing something and she gets nervous and straightens her skirts or ruffled it?
straightens, I think.
She's straightening her skirts. And he has that line in that book almost 1,000 times.
You
I
mean
swear
you don't
to
tug
God.
on your braid every day, Jeff?
Yeah, there's one character. I can never imagine what he's talking about when he says that. Like, she's
Tug on?
tugging on her braid. And I just imagine she's here and she's just like, "Brr, brr."
I think tugging, you're getting a little too real. Like, have you guys ever had really long hair?
No.
Oh,
My hair grows sideways.
right.
not down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've had long hair, and when you're kind of thinking, like, I would like grab my hair when I had super super long like hockey bro hair.
Okay.
Like if I was in class, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And I'd be like grabbing my hair. So I think that's probably what he means. Like if someone's talking, like you're kind of just like stroking your hair, but like kind of.
God damn, every time I read Nynaeve now, I'm just going to picture Andrew stroking his hair.
Imagine me like So imagine my like you guys knew me when I had super hockey bro hair.
I
You
think
remember
so,
that?
yeah.
Bro fluff.
Just imagine me like flipping it and just being like, "Ugh! Jesus, what's happening?" Yeah, it's.
That fits perfectly for the character. She's just
is
very annoyed all the time.
Oh well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my spirit animal. That character. I guess.
All right, should we jump into it?
Well, hold on.
Oh,
Do we
good.
have listener mail? Should we do that before?
Ooh, we
Great
do.
call.
Our original mailer has mailed us again. Sea Dog has written back and decided
Written
to
back?
tell us written back. Decided to tell us what she's been consuming this week, and she gave us a book review of a book I sent Jeff. So I'm very excited. She finished Going Postal by Terry Pratchett, and it was terrific. 10 out of 10 on readability, and a 3 on the Harry Potter likeness scale.
That sounds like a good book. Hey, that's a great idea. Send us what you're listening to.
Yeah, there you go.
Give it. What are you listening to, audience? Hashtag. Boy, I'm listening.
Yeah, I think we're kind of out of podcast suggestions, right?
No, we have a
have
few.
Carl's suggestion.
Okay.
We have Austin's suggestion if we want to go back to sports.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
My
gave us, like 10
sister,
suggestions.
I think my sister gave a suggestion too, Cara.
Did you really? Well, shit.
It might have not been a suggestion as much as a you guys are ripping off this podcast. So.
Right. The one about shitting on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That could be a great one.
Yeah,
at
I
some
think we
point.
need to do
Maybe
that
that's
at
a
some
post.
point.
You know, we did binge mode when you finish Harry Potter season or Harry Potter book 1.
Yeah,
Maybe we
we'll-
should do that one once you finish book 2.
And we'll do it when he finishes book 2. Like, we'll do the episode where he finishes book 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay,
be great.
that's a plan.
Yeah.
Anything else? No? We haven't got tweeted at. Tweet at us, for fuck's sakes. What the shit?
I feel like school started and everybody got kind of busy.
Oh, everyone's so busy in class. They're like looking at Reddit as they're getting lectured at and they can't send us an email. Okay.
I hear someone's going to send us a clip soon about why Night Vale is actually a podcast and not just a piece of crap. So
This is true.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
okay.
to hear
So
it.
we FaceTimed.
I say that. I kind of like Night Vale. I didn't hate it, but I don't understand why so many people like it.
Yeah, so to get back, I'm going to double down on this so we actually do it. But we'll do our, episode 25, I think is what we declared it. We might need, a week of prep for episode 25. So maybe we'll take, a week break to get all the bits together and shit. Mm-hmm. But, yes, Tessa, who I know personally, who I took a dump on when she tweeted us. Yeah, she said she would do a audio clip for episode 25. So, which is great.
Great.
Perfect.
Certainly need it.
I want some people to tweet at us about how great Harmontown is. I really want the
I
Harmontown
know.
train to come in strong.
That literally came out yesterday. So
That's true.
The fan mail, I'm sure, is flooding in as we speak.
I'm going to put it on the Harmontown subreddit, and either great things will happen or terrible things will happen.
Oh, dude, I think the level we circle jerk, as long as...
Yeah, that's true.
This is the tough thing about posting our podcast on subreddits. I think it's a great idea because it gets our podcast out there. And those subreddits are probably starved for content, right? Especially Harmontown is dead, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So maybe it'll work.
Maybe.
Okay, high hopes.
Reddit is a very polar place to be, so
Oh
we'll
god,
see how
I
it
know.
goes.
That's why I never promote anything on Reddit because
Yeah.
you'll either get super lucky. There's a 10% chance you'll get lucky and you'll get the first 10 people who interact with you are like, great, love it.
Yeah.
But then there's the 90% chance where you get 70 downvotes like, nice self promotion, bitch. Like, fuck you. You uninstall Reddit. It's like, it's a website. How can I uninstall it?
I feel so defensive when I'm posting our podcast on Reddit. I'm like, if you have time, please check out our episode. You don't have to like it, but here it is if you want to listen to it. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Oh my god, please don't hate me.
Please don't hate me.
Please don't abuse me with your language.
Yeah, that
The
one.
people are like, be more assertive.
Yeah, hey, fuck you, guy. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Could be great.
All right, now
Is it time?
it's time.
All right. Oh boy. So this week, at Andrew's suggestion, we listened to.
Oh, it was actually a listener suggestion.
It was a Swarmy.
Swami?
Swami.
Yeah.
Sorry, Swami. I always
Hold
mess
on.
up your
You know
name.
what? Swami, give me one sec here, Jeff, because Swami is a dedicated listener. He's someone we went to high school with who you guys don't remember, which is hilarious.
Sorry, man.
We'll cut that out.
Sorry, man.
But to be fair, I don't think he remembers us, right? So we're all even.
I guess I never followed
didn't-
up with him.
I didn't talk to anybody in high school. If he remembers me, I don't know.
Hold on. I just want to pitch his. I want to pitch
yeah,
his
he's got a channel.
Twitch channel because he's great, and I really think he'd. Okay, what?
Maybe I can find it faster than Andrew can.
There is such a good chance. Is this alphabetical? Oh my god, I'm fucking.
I see it every time I look at people.
Well, okay.
Oh, now I don't see it. It used to be his note.
Yeah, I know, right?
What the hell?
Edit this out.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeff.
gonna find it.
Yeah, Jeff, edit this.
Is it just Twitch-Swami? Twitch.com-Swami?
Okay. So here I found it. So it's Will, aka Swami, great listener. Thanks for the email. Go watch his Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Swami Sama, SWAMI SAMA.
We'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes. Put it with my Twitch channel that I don't apparently use anymore. He is a awesome streamer, and he streams a lot of cool shit. He streams old school RuneScape, and he also streams. Have you guys ever played Super Smash Bros. Melee?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's actually good at Super Smash Bros. Melee, and he uses have you ever seen those boxes people buy for fighting games where it's they're individual buttons? He uses one of those to play Smash Melee. It's fucking
so sweet.
crazy.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Also, RuneScape is a sweet game. So.
Yeah, exactly. So he's an awesome streamer. He's like 9,000 times more successful than I am on Twitch, and he's been on the platform for like 1/10 the time I have. So definitely go check out his Twitch. He also has a Discord, and we'll figure that out too. But if you go to his Twitch channel, you'll find his Discord. So definitely go watch him on Twitch, though.
Cool.
Little mutual promotion there. Okay, Jeff.
All right. So yeah, Swami told us to listen to Stuff You Should Know. Stuff you should know. If you've ever wanted to know about Champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising, Chaos Theory, LSD, El Nino, True Crime, and Rosa Parks, then look no further. Josh and Chuck have you covered. It's an iHeartRadio podcast. I think it's one of the oldest podcasts out there. It's been on the platform, or a podcast, for a very long time. They have so many episodes. They've
over 400 or something, right?
Over 400, I think. They have, I can't find it. They have a ton of episodes. However many it is, it's insane. They just talk about anything. They each, during every episode I've listened to, they're like, oh, we'll talk about this sometime. We'll talk about this. And they just cover subjects. And sometimes they have on famous people. I think I saw through their list that they had Bill Gates on like a few times. And
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's interesting about them is, remember, at one point we talked about the importance of podcasts is having a niche, or like a certified subject, right? And they said, our subject is anything. And they're the only people who made it work, but they talk about things on a very articulate level.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Wikipedia of podcasts.
Oh my God.
Like
yeah.
any subject you can think of, they probably have a podcast on it, and they kind of listen like a Wikipedia article. Like they just kind of, I don't know, they quickly summarize things and they give some examples, and yeah.
You can literally fit anything into their genre, though. They've created a channel that makes it sound much more niche, and then they stuff everything in existence into it.
Yeah, totally.
It's perfect. In a lot of ways, it's perfect.
The way he described how they're like a Wikipedia article is so on point. Like, even their tone is like, so the first thing I noticed about this podcast is, I was listening to it late at night while I was driving, and I was like, bad idea. I'm very tired now, because it's not like bad monotone. It's just relaxing.
Yeah.
They're talking about very in-depth subjects, but they're talking about it at a very cool, collected level. And they talk about it in a way that you're like, yeah, that's great. Okay, snoozing now. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, I'm driving. Yeah. It's really good, though. I really liked how relaxing it was, and how it was super relaxing and educational. And sometimes I feel like educational podcasts just aren't relaxing because they're trying to teach me something.
That's a good point.
They're a little more in your face about it than this podcast is.
Yeah. Like I complain sometimes about Radiolab. Radiolab does cool subjects and they really dive into it. But sometimes I feel like it's so overproduced, and they have to have sound effects, and they talk over each other in weird, like, in and out ways, like 10,000 times per episode. I'm like, holy shit, just talk about the thing. This is not that at all.
Two guys talking about the thing.
Yeah, they're just hanging out talking about the thing. Like, they've done their research, and they just... It's like if you just asked your friend that knew a pretty good amount to just describe something to you. They just do it.
They're clearly researched, though.
Yeah.
The level... So we listened to 2 episodes. We listened to The Insanity Plea. Mm-hmm. I forgot... Is that what the episode's called?
It's called Uses of the Insanity Defense.
Uses of the Insanity Defense.
And the other one was What's the Gig Economy?
And both were just totally fascinating. I will tell you guys, because of how chill it was, I got in my zone out phase of listening, where it was just really great background noise.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like that. It fits that niche.
And it was great. Because when my brain was in it, loved it. When I zoned out, still liked it. Yeah. I still really like to hear their voices and just have them talk about these really very, very poignant subjects. And they definitely do feel like they hit the random button on Wikipedia and like, bingo, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was almost like the only issue I had with the podcast was it's a good podcast if you're doing something. Like I was cleaning the house listening to it, and that was pretty good. But I was driving my car and listening to it, and I was like, I gotta listen to something else. Like, there's not enough to keep me, I don't know, kind of entertained and on it. And I just ended up like switching to something else because I needed something a little more high energy, I guess.
Engaging,
it was a little,
almost.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it monotonous, but it was just, it wasn't that engaging, I guess. Yeah.
But not necessarily in a bad way.
No.
Because I felt the same way, right?
It's not a bad way at all.
Sometimes I just want to listen to something that's just noise.
Yeah.
That's good noise. And it's very good noise. Like I want to talk about these episodes, but because we had to skip last week, and I listened to these for like last week, I'm like, I really don't remember what they talked about. I genuinely am unsure. I remember enjoying the insanity plea because they talked about a bunch of different times that people tried to use it and how it got developed. Like the insanity plea is just crazy.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the name of some of the people who used it, even though they were famously using it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like going and reading a Wikipedia article and then being like, well, tell me about it. I'm like, well, I don't know. I just read it. Like, I consumed it at the time, but it's not like I remember everything it said. Yeah,
Do you feel like you retain more information from like Radiolab or Freakonomics?
I do, because they drill in on something.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very light, over-the-top description.
I would agree with that too.
This feels like two friends who agreed on a subject and then said, let's go do independent research and we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And then they both just kind of go back and forth about, oh, but I also saw this. And like, yes, right, I read that too. And it was interesting because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you two are literally just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Like you could be talking at a coffee shop and I would not know the difference. Don't hate it.
Right.
It does definitely fit us, like for podcasting, it fits a very specific want. And to get back to the person who recommended this, Will, he was the one who told me at one point, he's like, I really like your guys' podcast because I can totally listen to it in the car and it's like I'm having a conversation with people.
Yeah.
And I think this podcast is totally his type of thing because it's like I could totally be in this conversation and I feel like I'm just listening to two people chat about something.
Totally.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I guess, people be like, Andrew, but podcasting is just a bunch of people just talking about stuff, so it's just like I'm like, shut up. Okay, that's not. I get what you're saying, but it's not like this hits that nail on the head.
And it does teach you things without it feeling like a lecture.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
It doesn't patronize you.
No. Yeah, and they keep it. Yeah, it's a very approachable level, and it's not like some podcasts, almost like ologies, where they have PhDs on and they're describing it as a PhD person. Like, these are two guys that just learned it themselves, re-describing it to you. So it's, way more approachable than the PhD people describing it, and then Allie Ward having to come back and re-describe it because what they said was confusing. So that was kind of cool. I just think it could not have been as popular as it is if it came out right now.
So,
it's definitely so popular because of how early on it came in.
2008, that's when they started.
Yeah.
They hit
Which is my question. If we started in 2008, how popular would we be right now?
How old were we in 2008? That was 12 years ago. We would have been
freshman year?
15-year-olds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to listen to 315? I wouldn't. I'd be like, I think if we were all 27 and 28 or however old the three of us are at the time, if we were all our age when podcasting came out, I think here's the thing. I think we talked about this with Joe Rogan.
Okay.
First to market
Yeah.
immediately has an advantage.
Yeah.
Right? You gain the popularity first because there's just not any substitutes. Now there's so many substitutes, it's really hard to gain that audience. So I totally agree. If they came out today, they would struggle.
Yeah.
They would certainly find a listener base, but also I think someone would have done it first.
There's so many people that already do such, better produced and, I hate to say it, but like more interesting versions of this podcast. They just do it at a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. I don't think this podcast was, it's one of those ones where I always think about podcasts we listen to as, will I revisit this? And I think maybe. Honestly, this is, to me, after listening to the first episode, I was like, oh yeah, I'm turning this bitch on when I'm going to sleep sometime because I'm going to fall the fuck asleep to these bad boys.
But you can't go to Freakonomics and look up a topic you want to listen to. Whereas this one, I bet you could just keyword search just about everything and it would show up. They have 1,400 plus episodes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When we said 400, I thought I was a little high.
Well, I think that's the podcast app truncating it.
Oh, interesting. I think you're right.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy.
If
That's
we
so
get if we make it past episode 100, I'm gonna be like, we're killing it.
Yeah,
to
What are
get
the
to
chances?
1,000, they don't even remember. They would repeat an episode and not even know they did.
yeah, that's
Totally. They would have to backlog search to see if they've
Seriously?
already done it.
Yeah,
They're running out of Wikipedia articles. There can't be more than 1,000, right?
yeah. No more than 1,000. I'm pretty sure Wikipedia is actually pretty small.
Well,
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I think that's what I got.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. God, I hate to say this. I might take this out. I don't remember anything about the gig economy episode. Like, that's how fast it just flew through my brain.
Oh,
and
but-
I honestly feel like I don't remember listening to the gig economy episode and being like, that's new information to me. Like, it was pretty, the gig economy is kind of basic.
Well, we've
And
kinda
we're
lived through
millennials.
it.
We
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah,
It's like people drive for Uber now. Crazy, right?
Crazy. I think it was early on for the gig economy, too. Which I
Yes.
think they recorded that episode early in gig economy life.
Totally. I think they recorded that episode when Uber Lyft that type of thing was starting to become like, oh, people want to do this for a living. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
But now agreed. It's such a part of our lives. And so I picked that episode because I was like, I thought is how I have like a million side projects. I thought it was gonna be more like, how many people are trying to profit off of side projects instead of profit off of established businesses?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are trying to profit off of side projects now. Okay, you guys want a fat ass tangent?
Yeah.
Like a thick ass tangent? You guys aware of this website called OnlyFans?
That's like the porn thing, right?
Yeah. So it's like it's where you go. So
Andrew, you started an OnlyFans site.
that's correct. So you guys can now check out my dick and balls. Only flaccid.
Link it in the comments.
Only flaccid because because erect dick and balls. Everyone's got that.
The market's saturated.
Exactly. But the flaccid dick and balls, everyone's like, whoa, what's this?
All right, did you watch a YouTube video about it? Because I swear I just watched a YouTube video about it.
I think a lot of people are starting to talk about it because there's that there was the Disney Channel star who created an OnlyFans account.
Yes.
And then
missed
she
this.
charged like $200 for a membership and then didn't post nudes,
Yeah.
which is like, why am I here? Why am I here but to not see you nude? The woman I saw on Disney Channel as a kid, right? So she like really rocked the boat. And people got really fucking pissed at her because it devalued OnlyFans and shit. But that's neither here nor there. The reason I bring up OnlyFans is because there's I don't know how accurate this is because I read it on Reddit. And it's, of course, take all this with a grain of salt. But there's a incredible amount of users on OnlyFans. And by users, I mean like, so OnlyFans is a
Paying people.
Yes. Well, not paying people. OnlyFans is a platform, right? It connects people who create nudes to people who want nudes. It's like
They're
Uber
the
of nudes.
Uber of porn.
Yes, correct. So
You want to ride?
you want to
need
you want to jerk off?
I got a
Boy,
car.
we got stuff for you.
It's the gig economy.
And my only response, but my initial response was like, are people not aware of Pornhub? Like, it's free. But anyway, so it's this platform, but it's becoming saturated on both sides. But the paying side has a limit, right? I think there's you hit a per capita of people who are like, I'm willing to pay for nudes, right? But I'm not going to subscribe to everyone. I'm not going to subscribe to literally 800 girls or men or whatever you're looking for on OnlyFans. I don't have that kind of money, and I only need nudes from a few people, right? That fit the demographic I'm looking for, especially probably people looking for famous people that they want to see naked. So, but it's become so profitable for people, unknown people. I mean, women, young women. This is where people were like growing concerns. There's like a population of 18 to 21-year-old women who are saying, I literally do not have to go to do anything beyond high school because all I'm going to do is sell nudes.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like a notable, like it's not like disrupting the economy amount of people. And I'm not saying it's not okay for people of legal age to sell nudes. You're free to do as you please. But there are people who are starting to find this as a full-time job.
Totally.
And it's just not. And so it's interesting to look at, like, this is why it came up, is someone was like, I'm a career counselor at a high school, and the amount of girls who came up to me and said, oh, no, I'm not doing any college prep, I'm just going to do OnlyFans. Because I'm already making like $200 a month on it.
Yeah.
What if I'm doing this full time? It's like, it won't change. But so it's just an interesting, weird thing that's happening. That was the weirdest thing about like the gig economy that I thought was like, people who think they can make there's a very small percentage of people who can make a lot of money off these type of things, right? It's like Twitch. There's a very few, like 1% of streamers are profitable enough to do it full time. Realistically, I think a lot of people try to do it full time, but they definitely are not making enough money to argue for it. And it's just like, at what point are we going to hit this like weird gap of? This is what I worry about. We're going to hit a gap of incredibly unskilled workers who are not college educated, who are just trying to make money on like 3 of these gig things, and they're 100% dependent on them, and it's just all going to crumble.
So I have a totally different take on it. I watched a big YouTube video about how, I don't know why I watched this YouTube video. I think it was on Reddit. Don't judge me, everybody. On about OnlyFans and like how it was disrupting the porn industry and all this stuff. And I think right now it's a big bubble, right? It's a big bubble because it's a new thing and people see all this money that can be made on it. And this video was focusing in on these porn stars that quit porn to go to OnlyFans because they'd make like $1,000 a month doing porn videos, and they were like, I went to OnlyFans and I was making like 20 grand a month because they're just like, you do these personal whatevers for people and they give you shit tons of money. And they were like showing these, I hate to say this because now it seems like I'm advertising for it, but they were showing these mansions they were living in and these huge cars that they had, and they're like, yeah, we just switched to OnlyFans and like I work less, I don't have to do weird sex things with people, I make a shit ton of money. And it's I definitely agree with what you're saying. It's a sad thought to think of people that are like, oh, I'll just not do anything and do OnlyFans and make money for an amount of time. But
and this is the problem.
It was cool as I'm a porn star, not making any money. Now I do this thing that is me working for myself, making a ton of money. So it's almost like how taxi drivers and whatnot was really screwing everybody over. Everybody in that system, like the medallion system and all that, was really getting fucked. And then you got Uber and Lyft, and like they disrupted that system, and now it's over. It kind of feels like that's how OnlyFans is going.
There's always markets like that, and there's always going to be changes in that of it flipping from one platform to another or whatnot.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
All I know is I saw on Reddit there was a post about a guy who paid like $500 for 4 terabytes of OnlyFans data, and it was a zip folder of 4 terabytes of pictures of desk fans.
Wow.
Amazing.
First of all, 4 terabytes.
That's a lot of desk fans.
That's 4 trillion. That's about 4 billion pictures of desk fans. What?
And maybe it was just like,
well, you could Control C, Control V. I mean,
so yeah, definitely. But like, who spent that time? I guess you could write a program to do it. But,
yeah,
oh my god.
You have the same 30 files renamed.
Maybe they're videos of fans too. 4K videos of a fan spinning. Oh yeah.
4K videos of 24 hours of a fan going. Yeah.
I want this to be the love project of someone who just really wanted to meme people, and they spent a good amount of time getting all this really high quality fan content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Server
my
fans.
concern is that people see the 1%,
Yeah.
right, who are making 20 grand a month, who are living in a mansion because they're selling whatever they're selling on OnlyFans. I think you can sell a lot of different sexual pictures or videos or whatever tailored to an audience. And then they say, yeah, I got this. What's different from me to her? Right, or me to him.
Same argument made for sports, like I'm
Or
good at
YouTube.
basketball.
Absolutely.
Learn.
This is the
Or
thing
anything,
is we're promising that professional athlete thing to people.
Yeah.
And you're not going to make that much money on it. Now, the problem with this is the amount of athletes in the world who think they can become pro is much smaller than the amount of people who think they can sell dick pics online and live in a mansion.
That's a good point.
So it's interesting because I think more than ever, we live in this world where everyone wants to get super duper rich really, 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 really fast.
Yeah.
And that's just not how you get rich.
For the least amount of effort they
Yes,
can put into
absolutely, which is taking a few nudes, right, in this case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could take pictures of my flaccid dick literally all day. It takes
You
no
might make
effort.
a couple bucks.
I might make a couple bucks, so who doesn't want that? But it's just not sustainable, and I think it's going to put a weird hole and gap inside of, like, I worry that it'll put a gap inside of our society's ability to be successful in the future.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that a lot of people are like, nope, I'm doing this as a side gig, and I will continue to pursue other means of being successful and beneficial to society. Like, they're
Yeah.
still going to pay taxes and shit, but...
And here's a terrifying thought to throw into it. And this is just a scare. I don't know. This is how I would immediately scare my child out of it. We are getting so good at facial recognition that at some point I'm going to be able to search Hayden Bryan and not only find pictures that have the name Hayden Bryan under it, but find every picture that has Hayden Bryan's face in it.
Oh, yeah.
And we are we could do it right now. It's just kind of like,
Dude.
it's morally ambiguous.
I don't even think that's a problem for people.
You don't think so?
I don't think people give a
because
shit.
people are smart enough to know, like, after you reach a certain age, you're not going to make any money on OnlyFans. Like, everybody is going to realize that at some point. And then you're going to have to know that they will be able to search your name and find you very quickly. And if you go search for any job, like they're going to search like Rebecca Klomenstad and immediately
it's-
find
I just
you.
don't think
Just
that's
like, it's just like looking at Twitch streamers or YouTube stars or actors or athletes. I think
No,
it's
it's not, because what they do isn't something that an employer would say, you made a YouTube video, you don't get a
Dude,
job.
I don't know though, because think about it this way: that employer might have been on OnlyFans at 1.2 nowadays.
But you think they're gonna? I don't know. People are so.
No, I was saying like all
Old
of those
people are
things-
against it.
All of those
Yeah.
other things are so similar in the same like easy fame. Like acting can look really easy, but like acting doesn't
Those things aren't
blacklist
easy,
you
though.
from careers.
Making YouTube videos is a lot of work. Taking a nude video of yourself, we could do it.
We could do it right now.
I could take a
Ooh,
nude video of Andrew. We
The
could put it
Tangent
on
Quest
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans open now.
Like all of those things have a big barrier to entry, and this doesn't, which makes it a
Right.
little
This is
more-
why I mean the level of saturation is misleading.
Yeah.
To an unknowledgeable 19-year-old
Yeah.
who thinks they can sell whatever nude picture they want. And I want to make something very clear: this is not just women.
Yeah.
By
Of
the way,
course.
dude, this is dudes too, and there's a lot of young men out there who have the same, like they have hot rockin' high school athlete bodies, and they're like, I'm gonna sell this on the internet, right? It's an interesting problem, which is why I thought the gig economy, not just for the OnlyFans thing, but the gig economy is like, it could easily bubble and collapse on itself, and bring a lot of people who don't deserve to go down with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you just hope. This is why, like, kids, if you're listening at home, if you're like, man, Andrew, I'm making a bunch of money on my OnlyFans, that's fucking great, dude. Just have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Always
Just
have a
backup
backup plan.
And know that it's not deletable. Nothing on the internet is.
Nothing
and
on the
it's
internet
going
is
to be
deletable.
very searchable very soon, which is kind of scary.
I can't imagine how many people are posting their face. I guess on OnlyFans you do, because
yeah.
you're
I
because
think
that's
it's
like
how
the
you make
premium
the money.
content is showing the face. I guess.
Yeah.
I still stand by though. I'm sorry, like if I'm a hiring manager and I Google search someone, I'm like, oh, they sold their nude pictures online. Good for them.
But that's you, like, all the... I don't know. If you're trying to get a job right now, there's so many old people that are so crotchety. And
Yeah, I know, but they're kind of getting out of the workforce.
that's fair.
So I think in 10 years, you're really not going to have that big of an issue.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
listen
Right.
on
Which
your
is not
resume.
encouraging in a way, but also encouraging.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
List it on your resume. Show you have initiative. Create your own business.
I mean, kind of though, in a way. You know?
Let's be real. No one's putting that on there. Well, I guess it depends on the job.
Okay, let me tell you something, Jeff.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of resumes.
Have you?
Yeah.
And they said OnlyFans?
No, I'm just saying people will put some weird ass shit on there.
Wait, please. I want to...
Well, like, I mean, like,
Highlights.
think about it like this. Do you remember when you graduated high school?
Yeah.
What did you have on your resume?
All of the dumb high school things I did. Mu
Exactly.
Alpha Theta
Okay,
Math
right.
Club. You know.
How much of that, you know, now imagine when you graduated college, really how much did you have on your resume?
Of, like, college stuff? Or
Of
high
like,
school
of
stuff?
like, no, on your resume, just
Yeah.
total. You didn't have, what quality information did you have on there?
I think, well, like,
I had some
decent
great,
amount.
colorful bullshit. You know.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to fill it in somehow, and people just put the dumbest shit. Anime club president.
Sure.
I've seen that on a resume.
Yeah, but that's legit to me.
Well, I mean, like, you organized a group of 17 weebs in high school?
That's hard, man. Can you imagine 17
That shows
Bens running
scheduling.
around?
Yeah, I mean, it's like herding cats. I'm sure that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, but people do, I mean, they put anything they can on there. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if at some point we're just like, you know, good for you. You did something.
Yeah,
Like, I guess. I'm just saying, people will put anything on the resume
that's fair.
to fill
That's
it
a good
out.
point. Yeah.
I had a whole section before I had really good work experience explaining how good I was at communicating.
Nice.
I was like, God, I just talk clearly, effectively. Via
Andrew, would you put your podcast / Twitch stream / your YouTube channels? I guess
It doesn't really
Video on
exist,
it. But yeah, would you put that stuff on a resume if you were back in college?
No, because I had really good work experience I worked all through college.
Okay.
You know, I did internships and stuff. Which is why I did internships.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to high school. Would you put it on then?
Maybe to show that I had extracurriculars, like that I was working on building something. I built a community. That's how I would describe it, right?
I'm just
You could
imagining
try
all
to
the high
sling
school
it that
kids
way.
with-
I can
Yeah.
see that.
with Twitch stream communities now. Like,
I
bet
mean,
every high school. Yeah.
You got to try something.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would put it on my resume now, depending on where I was applying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, if you're social anything.
Yeah,
Like all the
exactly.
social
I know
media
how
people.
social media works. I
Yeah.
run my own Twitch page. I run my Twitter account. Like,
Yeah.
I people be like, "Well, how many followers do you have?" I'd be like, "Shut your mouth."
If you don't check, I'll tell you a number.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, I think know your audience. I think is the key thing. If you're applying to an investment bank, don't say I sold news online. But
This was a hard-ass tangent. We've tangented so hard. Do we need to go back to final thoughts?
Yeah, we should do final thoughts.
If you had
right?
something, I don't want to.
I was just going to ask if you've ever lied on your resume and how much you would lie.
I've never lied on my resume.
I've never lied on my resume. I'm
Have you ever seen
way
that,
too
like-
scared to get about getting called out.
Yeah.
That
same.
like Yahoo CEO who lied
Yeah.
about getting her
College
graduate
degree.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did it for a long time. It just goes to show how invaluable a college degree is, or unvaluable.
Yeah.
It's useless, honestly. It's a qualifier at this point. You have to.
Hearing things like that, though, I've never lied on a resume, but it makes me want to lie on a resume a little bit.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So you can become CEO and get fired.
Well, that was the one that got fired.
Right. I mean, how
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
are still living the dream?
I'm just saying, after a certain point, you can put things like, I bet you could lie about your GPA super easily, for instance.
I had places ask for my
For your
official
transcript?
transcripts.
I've never had that, so maybe
Really.
I'm...
I will say, just because it says official does not mean it's uneditable.
Yeah,
you ever used
totally.
it?
You
You ever
send in
used a
PDF?
PDF editor?
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah. You remember, I don't know if you guys ever had to do this, send like, you had to have the CU's bursar's office send an unopened letter of your like transcript to jobs. I remember having to do that for one job. And
I've only had people ask for the PDF, assuming I couldn't edit it,
Oh
and I
my
never
gosh.
did. I can't.
It's so dumb. It's so easy to edit.
It's so easy to edit, and this is my biggest fear. I had this fear in high school my whole life. If I lie, they will find out somehow, and I'll get boned.
Yeah.
That's just the worst
cost
case.
Or the risk ratio. is
Yeah,
not
it's
good.
too high.
Yeah, it's too high.
Now, filling in colorful fluff,
Yeah.
you bet your bitch ass.
Resumes are nothing but fluff.
Yeah.
Was he an opinion? Was he a low-level employee on this project, or did he lead it? I don't know. He was
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah. Someone told me I was leading it at some point.
Someone said
like
I was
it,
in
but-
charge. I'm pretty sure I was the intern, but that's great. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts?
Oh my god.
I know. I did that.
Stuff you should know. Final thoughts. I don't know, Hayden. What you got?
Good for information. Good for listenability. High on boring scales compared to other podcasts. I would put this at the bottom of the tiers of things I'd listen to. I don't think it's completely out. I think it's referenceable, but it's not my go-to.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
I liked it overall. But I will say, like I said, easily my top list of falling asleep podcasts.
Yeah.
But I would say, on a listenability scale, much farther towards GVP than Sam Harris.
Solid
I mean-
5, right in the middle. I'd
Right,
say.
yeah, I'd say right in the middle. I mean, you just pop that bad boy on, do whatever the fuck you want. You're
Surprising for the title.
I know. I know. Overall, I liked it a lot. One of the dude's voices was so far away from Roman Mars, it made me want to like.
Oh,
the higher pitched
I had
voice.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't unlistenable.
I agree. His voice kind of. Sorry, I'll get. Did you have anything?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, overall, I would say it was good. I think I actually will listen to it if I just need to get chill. Because it's like I mean, they even play smooth jazz to intro.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, that was one of my points. Worst intro music I think I've ever heard on a podcast.
There's
Really?
some tone.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I don't know.
know.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm like, this is what you got?
Worse than the Doughboys? Do you remember the Doughboys sound?
I'm sorry, I like the Doughboys podcast.
That's the only downside of the Doughboys is I try to skip through it every time if I
That's
can.
so funny.
Yeah.
I actually like it. I think it's because I like the Doughboys.
Yeah.
Fight.
I love the Doughboys.
Fight.
Yeah. I agree. The voices, one of them is really annoying, and I actually had to go watch a YouTube video of the two of them talking to put a face to that voice, and that actually helped me a lot. But there's so many other podcasts that do the same thing that these two guys do at a much more interesting and in-depth scale. It's like if you want a light description about something you don't know for some reason, then maybe go check it out. But I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. It was kind of boring, as Hayden said. But you know, it has its place, and I understand why it's out there. And they've probably covered every subject you can think of. So you know,
I
it's
think
kinda
there's a demographic of people who would really like this podcast.
cool. You think so?
Yeah, I just don't think we're the types.
It doesn't help that I've been listening to Harmontown and Doughboys, two comedic podcasts, and then I go to these two guys that are like just trying to keep it calm,
Yeah, not the play.
not the play.
Not the play. Definitely, like I said, chill time podcast.
Chill time.
And it fits that bubble, I think, nicely.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a Harmontown equivalent, you're as far as you can get away.
That's a good point. How close is it to Harmontown? Nowhere near.
If they would be on opposite sides of their own scale.
Yeah. You remember we were doing D&D alignments for podcasts?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I'm glad you remember this.
I really like it.
Oh my God. They're neutral. They're pure neutral.
Pure neutral.
They're.
I don't think they're lawful neutral. I guess I'm trying to think of what makes a podcast lawful.
As opposed to chaotic.
You know what? Actually, I think they are lawful neutral because of how factual they are.
They're very factual.
Yeah, lawful neutral, without a doubt.
Give them lawful neutral.
I agree.
I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Applying this scale.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's a little twist.
Huge lawful neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we give Harmontown?
Chaotic evil.
No way. What was it?
It should
I
be
should write
chaotic
this
evil though, because Dan's such a dick sometimes.
Oh, I think we did actually give chaotic evil.
Did we?
Yeah, because Dan's such an ass. Yeah.
Who's choosing next? I don't even.
I
know.
chose last. I think it's Hayden.
I think it is Hayden.
Yeah.
I don't have one that I think it would be good to do a viewer one, so let's go with Carl's, which is I can find it. I just want to have the right name so we can cut all of this out. The Dollop. Specifically episode 12, The Ruby.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay. I know we said what this podcast is about. I forgot.
I already forget too.
That's okay, we're going in.
All right, we'll just grab it next
let's just
time.
go in blind.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, all right.
There we go.
The dollop.
The Dollop.
Here we come.
Episode 12, The Ruby.
At Tangent Quest on Twitter and OnlyFans.
Kind of final words for us, Andrew.
That's what it was.
That's it. And OnlyFans. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, you can see all three of our flaccid dicks.
Oh god. And that's a promise.
That's the problem. $500 a month. No promise on content.
I wonder if anybody's doing that. Like they put their, I don't know, a very hot picture of themselves, but they're like $1 million.
I wonder how much.
Make it worth my while.
Yeah.
I really wonder how much influence you have on cost.
Yeah.
If you could choose cost, I'd put a flaccid pic of my dick in my face like this, like thumbs up, like yeah, for like $1 million, just see if anyone would pay for it.
Stuff you should know. Just should do an episode just on OnlyFans, and then I'd be more interested in listening to it.
Ooh. Maybe we should have chosen more risque episodes. I hope, you know what we should do? Now that I'm sure Will listen to this episode, he'd be a great soundbite guy for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us what episode we should have listened to.
And what the fuck we missed. But I think we kind of nailed it on the head.
Yeah, I think they were good episodes to pick. Yeah.
All right. Good. Excellent. It was great to be in person. This was fun.
This was good.
'Twas.
You guys should come out to Portland, and we do it there.
Portland.
It's on fire right now, but you know.
Yeah, well,